bruised and broken Hillary just got worse news of her life after falling on her face again. Hillary can't seem to stay on her toes these days, by Al Waisman for DailyVine.com. Former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton can't seem to manage to stay on her toes these days, but when it comes to attacking President Trump and his family, she can run a marathon. And although she is currently on a worldwide speaking tour, she still manages to both attack and slip and fall. The former Secretary of State and 2016 presidential candidate seemed to be having an extra hard time during her visit to India. This time, it seems that on top of making a spectacle of herself just by trying to walk down a flight of stairs, she has also fallen while using a bathtub and has been diagnosed with having a hairline fracture on her wrist. There have been countless times in the past where Hillary had been reported to have taken spills and falls, one which is probably the most notorious being during the 9/11 memorial. Yeah, I'll never forget this one. This one is this one's unforgettable. She lost total control of herself at that time. I remember that one. She couldn't even hold herself up, Then she can't. And the shoe fell off also. You can't even make this up. That's not due to dehydration. No, look, she just falls. I remember that. That was really unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, she just lost, her whole body went numb, her whole body went numb. That's basically it. Although throughout the campaign, she wouldn't admit it, and the left-stream media in our country conspired to keep whatever is going on with her health a secret, it's obvious something is very wrong here, to the point that it's now being confirmed that the Democrat Party was so worried that they even thought about replacing her with Joe Biden or the socialist Bernie Sanders. This was back in September 2016. Clarification for Dem operatives: Hillary Clinton pneumonia. Expect emergency DNC meeting to consider replacement. DNC delegate: if Hillary Clinton withdraws, every indication now committee will vote to replace with Biden. Bernie Sanders team scrambling. Yeah, because she lost total control of her body. But since Democrats were so dead set on beating Donald Trump by telling us how bad our now president would be, they forgot to look right under their noses to see their candidate isn't right. It's not normal for a person to not be able to walk down a few steps or take a bath without needing someone there to help her, especially at Hillary's age, which by today's standards isn't even close to old. Just look at our president, Donald J. Trump. Here is more about what went on behind the scenes during the 2016 presidential campaign via the conservative. From a physician, I am an internist in a large metro area. It is my job to make diagnoses, often with just my eyes and nose and ears alone. This is especially true in the geriatric community. It is with great consternation that I have seen and read physician evaluations of Ms. Clinton in the news media. You should never make diagnoses like that without having the patient right in front of you. Totally agree with that. Furthermore, some of the videos that have been put forward to support these claims have just been Looney Tunes. That you cannot say. All that being said, I am deeply concerned about this video, okay? Ms. Clinton clearly suffered a syncopal episode while getting into the van today. The overheating excuses is just ridiculous. Yes, a normal, healthy individual would never do that type of thing in 80-degree weather unless they had just completed a marathon or something profoundly strenuous. That just does not occur. That immediately puts the lie to the overheated excuse that her campaign came up with. Well, you say, could it have been a fainting spell? Possible? Possible, no, that's not how people faint. Possible, but in my 30 years experience as a physician, fainting spells or vasovagal episodes do not usually require 4 or 5 people to throw someone into a van. Furthermore, in that type of an event, the person almost always slinks straight down or backwards, not forwards. Miss Clinton very clearly is going forward. I see the metal object in that video. I haven't a clue what that could be. Nothing in my experience as a physician looks quite like that. Could it have been an ink pen? Regardless, the far more telling issue that you can clearly see in that video around the time the metal is dropped is Mrs. Clinton's right foot. It was clearly being dragged along the street with the anterior portion down on the concrete. I am certain this is how the shoe came off. The comportment of this foot could only mean one thing: her brain or her spinal cord was offline, if ever so fleeting. During that moment, her right foot was acutely flaccid. There are but a few things that can cause this type of issue: brain or spinal trauma. No way this happened. An overdose of powerful sedatives or general anesthesia. Again, this seems to not be the case. A seizure, not likely. This type of thing usually occurs in the post-ictal phase after a tonic-clonic seizure, and people who are having this type of thing do not walk to a van. A stroke or TIA, it is possible but not likely given her interview on the street just an hour later. It would have had to have been a very fast TIA or transient ischemic attack to recover this quickly. The recovery on this is usually hours or days. The most likely diagnosis in my mind is an acute cardiac arrhythmia, either ventricular tachycardia or more likely atrial fibrillation with a rapid ventricular response. A FIB with RVR is very commonly associated with people feeling flushed or overheated for quite extended periods of time. Dizziness and nausea are also possible when they exert themselves. It is not unusual at all for them to have complete syncope like she appeared to do today. If not AFib with RVR, it is possible there could have been some other supraventricular tachycardia. There are several different types. Yeah, a side note, this is not without precedent in modern American presidential history. If you will recall the incident with George H.W. Bush stood up and vomited all over the Prime Minister of Japan at a state dinner. That incident was precipitated by exactly this, AFib with RVR. Why am I gravely concerned about this diagnosis? In my experience as a physician, this can happen at any time. However, it typically and often happens at times of great stress. Cardiac arrhythmias can be very easy to control or very difficult to control. However, this has often meant retirement for my business executive patients down the years. The syncopal events can simply happen at very inopportune times and cause all kinds of havoc for the person and his or her company. This is not the type of thing that I would want my president to have during a very stressful time. My fear is that it is fully known what is wrong with her, and this is being hidden from the American public. By the way, the diagnosis of pneumonia being put forth by her physician, Dr. Braddock, is just simply imbecilic, I should say. A patient who would have this kind of event with pneumonia would not be up and walking around an hour later. If this type of thing happens during pneumonia or any other infection, the patient is almost always suffering from sepsis and not up and walking again. This is imbecilic. The third year medical students know better than this. By the way, as an internist, I have been very concerned about the reporting of the physicians covering Trump and Clinton. There is something clearly mentally wrong with Trump's personal physician. I am not sure what is wrong with that guy, but something clearly ails him. The scrutiny there was deserved, and as of yet has not been answered even remotely by the Trump campaign. For the life of me, I do not know why there has not been equal attention on Dr. Braddock, Mrs. Clinton's physician. It has been known for a few weeks. Two internists in America connected to social media that Dr. Braddock is not board certified by the American Board of Internal Medicine. If you look at the website for the American Board of Internal Medicine and look her up, you will find that she is not board certified. Why would Mrs. Clinton release a medical statement from a non-board certified physician? I have been puzzled by that fact, that the national press had made such a big deal about the failings of Trump's physician, rightly so, but chirping critics about the obvious board issues with Dr. Braddock. Any ideas about that? I don't even know why they brought Trump's physician into it. Trump is doing fine. He's not falling all over the place. But you know what? The thing is, it's not even that. There's something that, why was she wearing the prism glasses? You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, she slipped there. It looked like her left leg over there. Right here. You see right there? The left leg gave out. You see? Wait, let's... It's like she can't see. She can't... it has to do with her perception also, or because of the prism glasses, I would say. But it's like she loses the control of her leg. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know. I can't. No, we gotta start it from here. Look, here. The left leg is, she lost control of it. That's why I think she threw the shoe off. I don't know. Now look, I'm not a physician anyway, but what I'm thinking... Let me get that. Get that line out of the way. Yeah, the thing is that the leg conked out on her. It's like she doesn't have any like control. When she's going down the steps, her leg conks out, and that's, I don't know what that's caused. And also, she was wearing the prism glasses, so I don't know. I'm not a physician, but they said she fell again, but no, she didn't fall again. But the thing is, there's some kind of issue with her being able to control her body, so to speak. That's why, like her leg, she wanted to go down the next step, but her leg just like she couldn't put the pressure to hold her body up with that. That's why she kept on slipping. She didn't have the something with the it could be a brain, some kind of a brain malfunction of some sorts, where she temporarily loses control of her body. I'm not a doctor, but there is something, definitely something's up with her. But again, it was funny here where they said she could run a marathon when she's dissing Trump. Yeah, that's for sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.